You have reached the Geek Elite. Good luck.
Welcome, listeners. Welcome, JV Pickers. Host Sway here, back with Working Together to bring you a playlist worth getting lost to by our collective brain trust. This week's theme is B-Sides. So grab your quarters, pick your dibs. Geek Elite presents Jukebox Vertigo. So let's find out who is around the table besides me. We have a new guest, and a very welcoming guest. I'm supposed to call him Lil D, because his name is also Daniel.
Yeah, hello everybody, this is Little D.
Now, I was just informed that you got this name because it was as a punishment for a fantasy football. If you care to share that story, that'd be a great. Or if you just want to share all your plugins or where we can find you, what is it that you do?
Yeah, so, first of all, thank you for letting me guest here on this podcast.
Oh, hell yeah.
For those other Geek Elite listeners, you all probably remember me from the Fantastical Football podcast, where, as we knew from last season, I did end up losing a bet one week against, Big D, Daniel Barroso. And unfortunately, because I lost my match that week, we had bet on, to avoid confusion during the podcast, we got to differentiate us somehow, right? So, loser was going to become Little D and the winner Big D, and I take my losses like a champ. And, my team went limp, and so therefore my name did too. So.
I just have to know for my own personal, headcanon, how tall are you?
I'm about 5'11".
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is great. This is hilarious. I can't wait to meet both of you together and just refer to each other in Lil D and Big D. Big D, I'm not going to call you that, but Daniel is here again and back. Hi, Daniel.
Hi. Thank you for having me again. I love this every 2-week thing. It's awesome.
Oh, no, it is a good break, and I feel like I'm so unprepared every time we come back. It's just like why do I wait till the last second to start working on my picks? Sometimes they're already there. Sometimes at the last second, I just second guess everything. But full roundhouse table, we have ourselves, as always, Keith.
Yep. So, in a little bit, we're going to talk about what we listened to this week.
Yes.
I'm going to give a quick teaser right now. Something happened that I've been waiting 2 years for, almost?
Ooh.
Something was finally released that I've been waiting 2 years for. And I can't wait to talk about it.
Actually, I just came upon something today. I don't know when it was released this year, but it was just like a long time fucking coming for this to be released. So Let's just get into everything that we listen to. Some recommendations. So I think the day after we recorded last episode, something really fucking dope came out. I saw a live stream of Marissa, the singer, guitarist to beloved band Mannequin Pussy, and she did an acoustic set to a bunch of her songs, which is really cool because I've never heard any of Mannequin Pussy's songs be acoustic. So, quick rundown of the songs. They were really, really good. The quality of this from the stream could have been better, but still, to just hear these just sound out just by yourselves, it's actually really lovely. And they go by Control, Who You Are, Romantic, High Horse, Drunk 2, into a new song from the EP called Darling, and then Emotional High and Pledge. They're really fun. Emotional High is just such a really fun one, and then to just hear it just by yourself on an acoustic was just a little different. The thing is, though, I feel like she needs to practice playing them in a different set, how they sound acoustic. Because other than that, I feel like we have a very similar mentality where I would just do it the same way, try to do a similar rendition of the song as is into just the acoustic guitar, where it would probably sound better with the band as it is recorded. Because there was a lot of times when people were just or she was taking recommendation or request. A lot of songs that I thought she would do, Fear and Desire and The Closer, In Love Again, she kept saying that those actually would be really hard to incorporate just this way, because the way everybody else just puts in their pieces to the songs, it just wouldn't fit to just be playing it by yourself. But they're just like more of the casual songs and like the faster punk ones. But yeah, it was just really cool just to listen to it that way, because I miss having shows so fucking much.
Yeah.
So other than that, other stuff I listened to, I still have on repeat 21 Savage Spiral, to the song to the Spiral movie, the Jigsaw movie, the Saw movie. It's so funny to listen to the song with 21 Savage just like being really in your face, like as he is. Like the song is great, but because it is a themed song to a movie, I can't help but picture Tobin Bell in his hoodie from Saw 2 doing the raps instead of 21 Savage.
That would be a sight.
So listen to it with that picture in your mind. It makes for such a fun song, and I really gotta watch this movie already. Other than that, the other stuff on repeat is Snow the Products, Bizzard, Sessions 30, Volume 39. There's no name to the song, but it's such a fucking dope rap. Like, week and a half later, and this song is at 42 million views. Like, I don't know who the fuck this producer is, but it's just like, other songs of hers, like, kind of wait probably like up to a month to kind of work up. Maybe over 2 million songs, depending on with the feature or not. So to just get these numbers off the bat and just having back-to-back reaction videos throughout the floodgates that is YouTube, it's just awesome. Like, fucking name, like her name just needs to be already above and beyond and just be out there. The Doja Cat Kiss Me More single is just also with SZA. It's just still really fun and good. Also, the Japanese Breakfast Be Sweet. Very, very catchy. If you watch the music video, Marissa plays the Scoldy to her Mulder in the music video. Yes, Marissa from Manic and Plessy. Now, for the good long stuff, the albums. Manchester Orchestra, their album, The Million Mask of God, was good. It was very, very enjoyable. I mean, it's just like casual listening. Like, it's just Manchester Orchestra. It's just like the 6th album of Manchester Orchestra. Yeah, like it's just I don't want to say like it's just if you heard it once, you've heard it before, but it is like that genre. Like if you missed it, get ready for a whole new set. But if I'm going to pass my time, it's still going to be Mare with Hark Here for the Sky, because it's such a great fucking album. Anyway, as well as also re-listening to Citizen, Life in Your Glass World. Such a fucking fun record. I swear to God, like in the best way, it takes you back to the best music of 2013. It's just really fucking good. As well as Pink Shift Saccharin EP. Now, for the big one, the shit I've had nonstop for the last 2 weeks, besides Mare from Hark Here for the Sky, is Gojira Fortitude. What a great album. Really fucking fun. The shit I was saying about the chant, I'm like, oh, it wasn't a really good single like for the last single before, because it felt like an interlude or like a setup to the next song. It turns out it is a song that gets set up for it. So the title track called Fortitude sets up the chant. So even though I already said the chant was kind of slower, the Fortitude is actually that much slower, but it does a really good job of setting it up with like doing a little chant as it kind of like it does certain like ahs and oohs as it does it, but with like a really clean guitar. But then like the whole thing just fucking rips. The Trials, the second to last song, is just really fucking good. Amazonia is just still such a fucking fun song. Like when that shit came out as like the second single, the way they just incorporate the sitar into with like the heavy distortion, it just makes it for like a little like headbanger, because you're just like bobbing with like the wow 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 wow. It's really fucking cool. So yeah, give Gojira a shot. It's really fucking cool. So that's all stuff I'm recommending. Lil D, I skipped over you kind of quickly, but I kind of want to save this piece with you for this spot. Besides what you've been listening to, what music do you like?
You know, I listen to all kinds of different things. I'll admit I'm one of those old school people who actually still has their, MP3 collection in their computer that, I just add to it every now and then with something new that catches my ear. But I like a lot of Depeche Mode, a lot of 80s alternative. I kind of grew up in the 90s though, so there's a lot of 90s music that I listen to for the most part.
Fuck yeah.
Which my iPod app, obviously not, I don't have an iPod anymore, but my iPod app on my phone is full of, the music that I collected from back then. So yeah, I like a lot of, Smith, things like that. Like, electronic 80s music is my jam. Basically, that's really what I like to listen to most of the time.
That's really dope. So what have you had on rotation lately then?
Well, lately, actually, I've been trying not to listen to my music that's on my phone. I actually like to, hear more of the new stuff that's out. So lately, I've been on a Dua Lipa kick. I really been listening to some of her stuff. The Weeknd also, some of his music I've been kind of re-listening to. And that's, more like the dance type music is what I've been kind of trying to listen to lately. I guess I've been in that mood right now. And like I said, it's more to stay away from the music I always listen to that's on my phone, just to kind of get more stuff. Because there's so much good stuff out there, as, Josue so poetically, tells us every week. And I really need to expand my musical horizons in that sense.
Hey, I try to. Like, once again, Mare from Hierarchy for the Sky, album of the year. It's still such a great fucking record. Well, nice. Fuck yeah. Daniel.
Yes.
What have you been listening to since the last episode?
Since last episode, I have been listening to, and these are all just on shuffle, these artists, Slipknot, Poppy, Black Tiger, Sex Machine, Linkin Park, Dylan Francis, Just to Remind That I'm Human and Have Emotions, John Mayer, some Sublime, Beatles, and Laid Back Luke, and again, more Foster the People.
Nice. I gotta learn how to make my list like you, a little shorter. I just have to share like why some shit is just like so cool. But no, like Dylan Francis makes me laugh. There's one song in particular. I don't know what the name of the song is, but the music video is when he shows up to like the kid's birthday party and he starts hitting on like the mom. But like the song is really fucking good though. I don't know what it is.
Coming Over.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's actually one of the songs I listened to today.
Yeah, it's great fucking like when it, like the drop and then like the singer just hits it really good.
Yeah.
I gotta listen to that shit after this. So, and Keith, what have you been listening to?
Yeah, so, okay. First of all, this isn't the thing I've been waiting on the most, but I did want to talk about it. There's a new Pink Floyd album out that's a live album.
Yes.
And it is a recording of their concert from Knebworth, Kneb Worth, from 1990. Knebworth is a legendary music park in England and always has incredible concerts. They haven't had one of the festivals since 2014, but just to give you an idea of how awesome this place is, the last one had Metallica, Iron Maiden, Prodigy, Dream Theater, Slayer, Alice in Chains, Deftones, Limp Bizkit, etc., all at the same concert.
Okay, that's a pretty good list.
Yeah. So in 1990, there was a concert there that featured Pink Floyd, Tears for Fears, Eric Clapton, Dire Straits, Elton John, Paul McCartney, etc., etc. And pretty much the entire concert has been recorded and released on different versions, but the Pink Floyd set has never been released basically since CDs have really taken over. And it just got released this last week. So I sat and listened to it. There's nothing like a live Pink Floyd album. Like if you like a psychedelic classic rock band like them, it doesn't sound like the record. You know what I mean? They do something completely different all the time, and it just put me in such a good mood listening to it. So I had to give that shout out to that. And as far as what else might have been recently, what I listened to recently, I got back into Yellow Card of all bands.
Nice.
So I fucking love Yellow Card, and I bring this up every other week or every other episode because that's how often one of my favorite podcasts comes out, which is called Song versus Song. And I want to go ahead and pose this one to you guys because this is the last episode. Which song is better? Ocean Avenue by Yellow Card or Move Along by All American Rejects?
Oh, Ocean Ave, dude.
Ocean Avenue.
Yeah. I agree, but they did have a really good point that the drums for the beginning of Move Along is just amazing. Like one of the best.
But then you get over it because at the end of Ocean Avenue, you get an electric violin, and then nothing beats that.
I fucking love Yellow Card. They will be on this playlist one day for me. I completely forgot they existed, to be honest. So I listened to them. I listened to the Ocean Avenue album, but then also probably about 6 or 7 years ago, they released. They went on a tour for this too, Ocean Avenue as an acoustic album. They did a complete re-record of it all acoustic, and it's still got the violin and stuff in it, so you can hear it a lot better. And I think his vocals got a lot better in this one too. So check that out if you get a chance. But the big thing I've been waiting on, Josue, do you know what it is? Did you guess?
Gojira Fortitude.
No. Way back in 2019, one of my favorite bands announced a new album coming out. After they announced it coming out, they released 3 more albums without releasing this one because they're assholes, but I love them to death, and that is Weezer.
Oh, nice.
Weezer has released the Teal album, the Black album, and OK Human, all since announcing Van Weezer. Van Weezer is the opposite of OK Human, whereas OK Human was no electric guitars, basically only a symphony, and it was cool as hell. This is Weezer embracing the fact that they're a 90s rock band inspired by 80s rock bands. Literally called Van Weezer because of Van Halen.
Right.
And Josue, I need you to listen to this album.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like any Weezer album I've ever heard.
Really?
But it's still definably Weezer, which they're really the best at doing that. Like, you can tell it's Weezer. The very first song, The End of the Game, opens immediately with a Van Halen guitar solo. And I'm like, we're in for a ride. So
I was going to avoid this one, just be like, I'm just going to sit on it and just wait on it for a while. But all right, cool.
It's only 30 minutes.
For the content of the show.
Sounds right up my alley, man.
That's not bad.
It's so good, dude. Like, and it's only 30 minutes long, and it flows really nice. Like, I really enjoy it. There are some typical Weezer lyrics sometimes. You know, Weezer's lyrics can get a little cheesy sometimes.
Especially for how old they are. Yes.
But I love it, dude. Like, so, yeah, I love Weezer. I told this story on the show way back in the day that I got to see them live at the Innings Festival, and it was probably the best performance I've ever seen. Like, it was either them or the Killers. Those are 2 bands I saw that really impressed me the most. So, yeah, so check it out, Van Weezer. It's really great if you like an 80s metal, like you know, Van Halen, not metal, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, and it's just great. I love it. So,
when you go for it.
I was gonna say that's pretty much what I've been listening to, except what's on the list.
When you brought up Yellow Card, I was going to say, like, that's literally one of the reasons why I went to my only Warped Tour with Daniel back in 2013, because that set list was just, that bill was just, like, so nostalgic of, like, like middle school stuff, and Yellow Card being one of them. It's like, yeah, let's just fucking do this.
And I'll be honest, I'll just tell you right now, they were an honorable mention for this week.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so, and it was, the only thing was, is I'm like, I love this whole album. How could I pick a song? So, yeah. But
the thing I was really fucking excited for, that came out, I mean, not came out today, but I discovered today that did come out this year, was Atmosphere. At the very least, Slug released God's Bathroom Floor as a single, which, god damn it, like, you cannot find anything early from this guy before Sunshine, which is like the Sad Clown, Bad Dub 9, and then pretty much you have like those 1 through 8s, and on one of them, technically it's on Overcast on the EP, but you can also find it on the Sad Clown, Bad Dub 7 back in 2003, and it's, you can only if you ever pirated, you can only have the song like on your iPod and shit around. But if you ever wanted to share it, like in a project like this, I could have never found it. So many times I actually did want to add it on the last iteration, but literally ran into this problem every single time. So he finally fucking releases. So if you get a chance, last recommendation from me, at the very least, from Atmosphere, God's Bathroom Floor. It's a really heavy song, but fuck, it just have such a cool beat to it. You're just gonna like be mesmerized the whole time. Just fall in love with it. Really good stuff.
Nice.
So now we can actually move on to the Jukebox. And this episode's page is adding B-sides. Most in particular, not necessarily like B-sides, like true B-sides. We will get to them like as a hard mode to do, like just come back and do another episode. But in this case, we're gonna do like album B-sides. Like, we're just gonna highlight songs that obviously weren't singles, and I mean, hopefully I didn't ruin this for you guys. I'm not really setting up this new rule now, but hopefully not like they were like music videos either. At the very least, like, they weren't charted, you know? Yeah. Just those unsung songs that are in albums that you're like, oh shit, nobody's ever heard of this song in particular. So, yeah, man. And I fucking love that because I love exploring albums. So let's take it over to little D. Do you like exploring albums, like listening to albums as a whole? Do you like kind of have like your own little treasure of B-sides that you like too?
I do try to, like, when I buy an album, obviously try to listen to all of it, but I think with me, I do like to kind of preview the album before I actually commit to buying the whole thing, or maybe just the songs that I like. So there are very few albums that I can just listen to, like, from beginning to end. And I definitely, I definitely have some really, really good, like, favorite songs from albums that weren't necessarily, they weren't B-sides, they weren't singles or anything, but I can listen to them all, over and over again, because it's either the lyrics that draw me to it, the music, the beat, whatever it is. But like, for example, and I guess I can go with my first song, right?
Oh, not yet. We're just gonna do like the rounds.
Not yet? Okay. All right. Well, yeah, but yeah, no. So, I mean, that's kind of like my philosophy with albums, like, if I really do like, even if I don't like every single song, I will like buy it all just to give it a chance, and then eventually they do grow on me.
Nice. I totally get you. Like when singles are coming out, especially from a band I haven't heard of in a while, I will get excited for like the first single, the second single. But if like that second single or third one doesn't really hit the way my little fangirl heart wants it to hit, I'll stop listening to anything coming out until the whole project's out, to just really, I guess, capture it that way. I'm one of those where like I really have to like listen to like the first time the new album. Nobody disturbed me. I got to listen to this as a whole. If I pause it, I won't come back in the same way. And it's like, and it always bugs me because it's just like my own little pet peeve. But yeah, it's just, but then sometimes I'll find like these little treasures, like the ones we're about to share. Daniel.
Yes.
You had a really interesting tweet, and I really considered it. I had my own picks that were like in the same way, but yeah, share to the class what your little slump, your little wall you had to hit.
So basically, I'm a big Gorillaz fan. I did end up including them on this list, but back in, I want to say 2012, 2013, they released a compilation album, and it was all their B-sides, and I felt like picking from that certain specific album was going to be cheating, so this made it a lot harder, and I had to do a little bit more homework that I wasn't expecting to do.
I know, dude. Like, I really considered, but it's kind of like those little B-sides or B-sides and rarities. Like I was telling you, like Deftones had one, and then I guess I'll mention at least my honorable mention right now. It was a Say Anything song by Tonight. It's literally my favorite Say Anything song, but it's from the All My Friends Are Enemies early rarities, and I feel like those albums really did, like, that's what they're there for, to highlight all these unsung songs. So maybe we can do another episode with B-sides and rarities, and maybe include those to just like bring it back again, and just, I don't know, in easy mode after we do the hard mode. So, and Keith, how'd you deal with B-sides?
So I tend towards liking B-sides more than hits.
Nice, me too.
Except for pop. Pop, hits are built to be hits, so that's the songs you're gonna like. That's usually how it works.
Mm-hmm.
But especially in classic rock, I find B-sides to be really interesting.
Oh, yes.
Especially if you go into the really, like, big archetypes of classic rock. Your Queen, your Led Zeppelin, your Beatles, your Rolling Stones, things like that. You just find these fascinating little B-sides that are, you're like, wow, look at that. That's really cool. So, it's just really interesting. And then also, we're not really a single release culture anymore, Yeah, we are, God. But it's never like a 5-track single EP or anything. It's always the track, So it's hard nowadays to really find a B-side, a real B-side.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some out there, and I'll probably talk about those a little bit, at least one of those a little bit later. So, but yeah, I dig B-sides. I think it's really cool, and I'm also obsessed with vinyl culture. So
yes,
so I have a bunch of vinyl, and that's more of like that makes you feel like it's a true B-side because you have to flip it, so yeah.
Ooh, how's that for a category? Like digging through our vinyls, or like vinyl picks or some shit like that.
Oh,
But
you don't want to do that.
dude, I would fucking love to. But okay, this is like post show.
Not with me,
This is post show talk, but
like Carly Simon.
So let's add our picks. And yes, Keith, everything you said, literally ditto. Because you started with the band I'm literally adding, and yes, Queen, in all of their glory and all of their hits. God damn it, do they have amazing B-sides too?
Yeah.
And one of them, they got completely overshadowed by its own popularity, but man, did it get overshadowed by Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, you're not going to put that song on here.
But in 1975, from A Night at the Opera, there's this amazing fucking song that goes on forever.
Oh.
And it's one of my favorite songs to just get completely blazed to. And that is the Prophet song.
Oh, thank God. Okay. I thought you were going to put I'm in Love with My Car on here, because that was the actual B-side for Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, no,
that's the worst Queen song ever made.
No, the Prophet song is just as weird, if not weirder, than Bohemian Rhapsody. And of course, it never really got its light because Bohemian Rhapsody was already taking too much time on the radio, as long as it was, and they were going to put their second to longest song ever on the radio as well from the same record. But holy shit. And it's also like the whole like story behind or in the lyrics, like the story in the song. It's like kind of the same way from my other favorite song that I have shared on here before, El Bastón del Diablo from Tierra Santa. It is about like the warning of like the wicker man and just like, but it just makes for such an epic fucking ride because you have that Queen song and then in the middle it just does these loops, these vocal loops of just like repeating and echoing itself. But just like, and then it's like with Freddie Mercury doing it, and it's a Brian May song too, so it's like you know you're gonna get some quality shit of how it's gonna come back. Because after about like 2 minutes of just like these vocal loops, the way the song just comes in, the way May just comes back in with the guitar to just like center yourself. I swear one time on just weed, I was literally tripping balls to the song in the bus going on my way to work. I swear to God, everybody in the bus was singing the song, that loop song to me. And it was just awesome. I implore everybody to listen to the song. If you love Bohemian Rhapsody and you've never heard the song from that same record, you're in for a ride. It's awesome. So, Lil D, what is your first pick from the B-sides?
Well, my first pick is an actual B-side, but I think it's my only actual B-side from my list. And it is from one of my favorite bands, Depeche Mode, and it's a song called Dangerous, which was a B-side to Personal Jesus from Violator. Cool. That one, the first time I heard it, I was like, why wasn't this on the album itself? It was, it's so good. It had the same, musical notes and stuff like that, and it's such a great song. And I love the lyrics. It's, to me, they talk about temptation, and I think at the time when I used to listen to this song, like way back in my teen years, temptation was definitely a thing. So yeah, I love this song. It's actually probably one of my just favorite Depeche Mode songs. Period.
Depeche Mode is a great fucking band.
Depeche Mode. Like, awesome.
Excellent. Now, Daniel.
Yes.
What did you go with?
All right, I got to start off with the honorable mention. I am going to go with Qwerty, but the live version from Linkin Park.
Ooh, motherfucker, that's a great one.
And the only reason why it's not on here is because you can't find that version anywhere. Obviously, it was a promo, so it's only on YouTube. I've tried searching far and wide for it. You can't find a studio quality of that live version unless you have that promo CD. So it's on there as an honorable mention. But the song I did pick was Hit the Floor from Meteora. And the only reason I went with that one is this is before they started straying away from their heavy stuff, which was really Hybrid Theory, and then they went into the more, poppy side. So it's really heavy. Love the lyrics. Love the guitar on this. Just love how everybody's banging it out. So I had to put it on my list.
That's really good. I fucking love that song. Dude, that's a good call. I really love Meteora. So thank you for playing on my heartstrings. Keith, first B-side.
My first B-side is one of my favorite songs ever. And I'm just starting with this one because I already talked about this band, Weezer.
Nice. From
the Blue album. My favorite song by Weezer, and again, one of my favorite songs ever, is Surf Wax America.
Yeah.
You know what's coming. So everybody knows that I'm way into surfer culture. I love surfing, and this song was one of the last songs I added to the old version of our playlist.
Mm-hmm.
And it did not have to wait as long this time. So
nice.
I just love it. I will say I was torn between this and in my garage, or in the garage, I should say.
Oh, I love In My Garage.
Yeah, they're both great songs, but Surf Wax America holds a really important place in my heart. So yeah, definitely Surf Wax America.
Fuck yeah. All right. For my second B-side, ooh, this is like the one I really had to like search down for, see if, because like, well, first and foremost, it's by Outkast, so it's gonna be hard to see if this was at any point charted. And then I was really scourging the internet to be like, this wasn't really anywhere, and it sucks because it's really my favorite one, and it's like one of the title tracks, and it's from 1998, Aquemini. Oh man, this song is just awesome. I'm also going with really fucking long songs. The song being how long? 5 minutes and 20 seconds. As the other one was 8 minutes and 20 seconds. This song is, the song really just encapsulates them both as they are in their zodiac signs, being an Aquarius and a Gemini, so they named it Aquemini. And they do a really great job of like doing a two-parter in that way in one song without really making it seem too long. But because the first song is just like, it's like really the longest part, it's like two-thirds of the song. And they kind of just like riffing back and forth. They each have like their own part really, but it's really more mellow. But fucking A, the second, once you think the song fucking ends, they each come back with one verse each. And yeah, I mean, honestly, Andre just like takes it on this one when he just comes in. My mind works and bends, slows to win, count to 10. Like the way he just bops it, I just like spinning, like just like back, like really fast. It's like really fucking cool. And just has always been my favorite song. And yeah, listen to Aquemini. It's really fucking cool. One, actually really prideful to actually have it on vinyl as well, because it's so long. Actually, it's one of the first ones that are kind of like went in the new printing, but it came as a 3-piece vinyl instead of like even like as a double one. It's that long. But yeah, it's one I just like fucking love going back and forth with. So yeah, Aquemini by Outkast and Lil D, second B-side.
All right, so my second B-side, I don't think it's actually a B-side, but it is part of one of my favorite rock en español albums.
Ooh, yes.
And it's Clávame Mejor los Dientes from El Equilibrio de los Jaguares. By the band Jaguares.
Yeah.
This song is just like one of those songs that, when I was listening to the album itself, it just, I don't know, to me it just came out of nowhere. I love the lyrics. I love the way they sing it. But I think one of the things I also remember about this album is, when this album came out, it was actually, I think, my first concert that I ever went to, down in, Mexicali.
Mexicali? Okay, cool.
Yeah, and it was at the,
Las Fiestas?
No, it wasn't at Las Fiestas. It was at the Bullring, I think it's called I forget what it's called. But it's the Bullring that they have down there.
Okay.
And, it was such an awesome concert. And I always remember, after, the concert, because I went with my brother and his, girlfriend at the time, and I just took a friend. And when we crossed back, from the concert, we actually ran into them, gassing up in like,
sick
gas station right there, like right across the border. And I always remember my brother, he's like an even bigger Jaguares fan than I am. But like he was just geeking out, like seeing them right there. Like they were in a van, and he's like,
yeah, I would too.
Yeah, Saúl Hernandez was in the car. I didn't see him, but my brother was all up on there like a preteen girl, like kind of trying to look in. It's like Saúl. Like, I was like tripping out. But there's so much joy in his, in his face when he gets that opportunity to see him and almost meet him, in person.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's like, what is this, like, era? You're just like, you forget about, like, Alejandro, but at that point, you're just like, I know Saúl Hernandez, where the fuck is he?
Yeah, exactly. But man, I mean, this song in particular, I love the way, it kind of starts slow and then it speeds up and then it's just, I love it.
Dude, that's fucking awesome. Because so my first concert was for Children of Bodom as like for like my English side, but then coming back home in Yuma, and then finally I see a concert tickets to Jaguares to en el Bosque in San Luis, Mexico. Dude, that shit being like almost basically like my first concert from like this side of my side of like music history was just such a treat. Because then I saw him for the 20th anniversary en el Bosque en las fiestas. And when they started doing the reunion Ask I Finance, I saw him again en las fiestas. And then to where Sabo, the bassist, was blowing kisses at me as I was being taken away by the police. It was just fucking incredible. Just not the whole police thing, but just him acknowledging me instead of the whole fucking crowd, the mess of a crowd that is Las Fiestas, and just blowing back kisses at me and not playing the song just meant the world to me. And then for my birthday, 2019, right before COVID, I got to see him back-to-back days up here in Portland and Seattle for my birthday as Ask I Finance. And dude, let me tell you, the fucking song, El Miércoles No Son las Cenizas, like the way they've just reworked that song now is just fucking awesome. Like it's just like I went back like on the ride home, I was listening to that song. I should have made that one for a B-side. That might have been a single. But anyway, I tried to listen to that song now, and it's just not the fucking same the way they just play it now. It's just incredible. So this is such a treat that I guess anybody else has finally played like a song like that's like would be part of in my library as well. So I really appreciate Lil D. Fuck it, you're Daniel. I'm not gonna call you Lil D. You're Daniel. You just have to figure it out who I'm talking to. Now, Daniel, what is your B-side number 2?
My second B-side is going to be My Name is Murder by Brendan Small. So
nice.
This song is amazing and heavy. I read an article earlier today, actually, when I was picking this out. I guess Adult Swim, and now given the recent news that Metalocalypse is getting the sequel to the movie, Adult Swim owns the rights. So when he released the album, he couldn't use the name Death Clock because he would get sued by Adult Swim. So he had to drop it under his personal name. Now, given if he would probably release it under Death Clock, this would have probably been a single. But yeah, he had to drop it under his personal name. Great album. It's Galacticon 2 because he also has part 1. Recommend that you listen to it. It is a Death Clock album, just under a different label.
Okay, I for sure want to give that a try then. He's just so awesome. I fucking love Brendan Small.
He deserves to do more.
Yeah, that he does. So, Keith, B-side number 2.
I'm going to change my order because I'm absolutely not having that transition. My next one is off of one of my favorite albums of all time and an underrated band, and one that was on the playlist at one point. I think only 1 or 2 songs though. That band is Audioslave.
Ooh, yes.
Fucking love Audioslave. And
R.I.P. Cornell.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The trick with Audioslave though is half this album was released as a single. Like, Pochis was released as a single. Show Me How to Live was released as a single. Like a Stone and I Am the Highway, and I think Exploder might even be released as a single. So it's difficult, but there's one very big, like, gaping hole in that should have been released as a single, and that song is "Set It Off" by Audioslave. I fucking love "Set It Off." It makes me so fucking pumped, and I just like. Like, he just makes me. Chris Cornell makes me feel things, and not. I mean, his slow ballady stuff is excellent. Don't get me wrong, but stuff like when he's in Soundgarden when he did Jesus Christ Pose, fuck, that song just gets me. So, but yeah, Set It Off by Audioslave. It's just so much fun and so much energy, but also. And let me ask you guys this, because we're all from the desert Southwest.
Yes.
Does Audioslave feel very Southwestern to you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Especially the videos Show Me How to Live, like where they're in that car in the desert.
In the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like the music, the sound itself, I'm like, this just sounds Southwestern to me. So I've always really associated it with like the best times in Arizona I've had. So
right.
But yeah. But Set It Off by Audioslave.
I mean, it could just be like their personal inner culture as well, like him being from like Seattle from the other band, but Rage being such a California band, especially Southern California band.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's probably just had like little that influence, or it's like that vibe, that chill desert vibe was definitely there.
Yeah, and it's kind of reminds me. Obviously, they don't sound anything alike.
Yeah,
but like Queens of the Stone Age, like they sound definitively Southwestern to me.
They're
and
also
I think
Southern
it's the guitar.
California.
Yeah, maybe that's what I should take away from this is like Southern California, like you're east of San Diego, Southern California. I'm talking to nonsense to everybody who doesn't live where we're from.
That dreadful drive before the pretty, like before you can roll down the windows and be like, "Oh, this is nice."
Like, mountains. But yeah, Set It Off Audio Slave is my number 2 pick.
Awesome, cool. Last rounds. Already did my honorable mention by Tonight by Say Anything. It's really good. It's a really good acoustic jam. It's one I actually really learned. I was very prideful of myself when I learned the solo to this one because it took me fucking years to figure it out. But the song I'm actually adding is by beloved Puerto Rican band Campo Formio. Really, really great shoegaze band. They'd be a shoegazy band. This is from their 2014 album. Here Comes Campo Formio, and the song is Pelagius. It makes for such a great chill jam. Like again, in that shoegazy, you're gonna get into like deep warping bass sounds with like some fast fucking like guitar strumming, and the way I can actually say psychedelic drumming, not even like on the guitar or on the bass, but you're gonna get some great fast psychedelic drumming. It's just awesome, and it's on to like 3 minutes and 45 seconds into this 6 minute and 22 second song when the lyrics finally come in and you just finally just like, again, it's all about centering yourself when you're just like in a good toasty jam session. And once you get those sweet songs like this one, you get the singer just coming back and singing sweet nothings in your ear. But fuck, can they just play a great goddamn show back when it wasn't known and it was actually really cool. Punk venue, The No here in Portland, they got to fucking come up here and tour it up in the PNW from Puerto Rico and gave us such a magical show. Like, I've never headbanged as fast and as hard to keep up with Diego the drummer as he did, only to just get them stoned ourselves, which was overcheap for ourselves much as it was for them. For him to tell that he was basically eyeing me and trying to go to the tempo of trying to keep up with me as he was trying to play on the show for us. I.e. me. So that was just fucking awesome. That was just like, there's like, that there is like a sense of like crowd interaction from like, even from back with the drummer and just like keeping an eye on someone. And fuck, it was just awesome. He was like, yeah, for me, it was awesome. But yeah, the song is Pelagius from the album Here Comes Campo Formio by Campo Formio. Really, really good stuff. So, Daniel, what's your last B-side?
My last B-side is from another album that I probably just listened to beginning to end, and this is kind of a band that has a tie to Depeche Mode in a sense where they actually toured with them. I think it was like back in 2006. But my third entry is What I Want from the This Is Forever album of She Wants Revenge. I love that whole album, but this one in particular. I don't think it ever had any single or any video released or anything, but I love the lyrics. It kind of reminds me of a time in my life. You know, no marriage is perfect, and you always have arguments about, you know, with your significant other or your wife about things. And I remember this always kind of takes me back to one of those arguments from, you know, early marriage. and, you know, just talking things out about, hey, this is what I want, and, you know, I'm not getting you know, my needs fulfilled or whatever, or you're not, you know, doing this for me, whatever. I'm not even talking about sex stuff, because I know it sounds like that. But you know what I mean?
About communication. Yeah, we get you.
Yeah. So, you know, and this is kind of like one of those songs that takes me back to those times, you know, where you're learning how to make a relationship work and things like that. And it's just, you know, such a sick song. Anyways, I could listen to it all day. I think I listened to it this week. You know, trying to remember, like, or more like going through, you know, like, what do I want to contribute to the playlist?
Yes.
And this one was like, oh yeah, I gotta go with this one for sure.
I always love that. At least like closed off, or at least like that. I'm gonna keep this one because it's the one I want to add for sure. At least like from my taste, I need to add this into the playlist. So I fucking love those. So definitely gonna go like enjoy this one, especially if she wants revenge. Nice. So Daniel, what is yours?
So the last one was released as a B-side, but then they re-released it as a single, but it didn't chart. Didn't make the charts, but like I mentioned earlier, the Gorillaz did make it to my list. So this song is Strobe Light by the Gorillaz. And this song is way different from a lot of the stuff that they do. So this is more like funk, more like soul kind of stuff. It's Strobe Light. Love this song. And yeah, it's just great all around. It is a banger. The music video has a lot of music cameos. It has Vince Staples. It has De La Soul.
Ooh.
And it has the voice actor who voices for Murdoch. Whenever they do their recordings or like their weird little intros in the videos, and it has co-creator Jamie Hewlett, who actually came up with the design for the Gorillaz. And somehow Damon Albarn, the lead singer and co-creator of the Gorillaz, knew that the guy with the funny hair was going to run a certain country. So he wrote the song and the whole like, let's throw one last big party before everything goes to shit. So, besides the backstory, like, it's a great song. I love it. If I'm feeling down, this song always brings me up because it's just so catchy, so fun to hum to. Yeah, you guys will love it.
Did you say so much fun to hump to?
No, hum.
Sorry, I had to. Well, fuck yeah! Thank you for bending the rules there on the single that didn't make it.
Hey, they hey, they're making charts. Not anybody's fault. Not really bending the rules. We're still trying to stick within the rules.
I mean, for the penultimate pick, that's like bending the rules as it gets.
Oh, so fine. That should be my number third.
I admire the effort.
I admire the effort too. Keith, how are you going to close off the page this episode?
I'm absolutely glad I changed the order of my songs now. This works so much better. I have 2 honorable mentions before I reveal my last one. Similar to Daniel's last pick, the Beatles, the song Revolution was actually a B-side.
Really?
But it was released as a single later, re-recorded.
Wait, hold on.
And it was close.
Go ahead, finish. Sorry, I got questions.
So it was close enough. It was the same song, but it sounded a little different. They did 3 different versions of Revolution.
Okay.
But it was a B-side to Hey Jude, actually.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, it was released later in a different version. But I was like, I don't need to cheat, so I'm good. And I mean, the Beatles, the Beatles will be on here 100 times later.
Yeah,
so.
probably.
What were you going to ask, by the way?
I was going to ask you if it's the Magical Journey, I forget the name of that album, or the White Album. Because it's on the White Album as well.
I can't remember. Like I said, there's 3 different versions of it, and they do sound very different.
Okay.
It's called like Revolution 1, Revolution 9, and something else.
Oh, yeah, Revolution 9 is on the White Album, and then another Revolution is
one is the rock one.
Okay. And then
9 is the more like mellow one, I think. I can't remember. There's one of them's really mellow. It's weird.
Yeah.
So,
and then there's the
anyways,
other one,
that's an honorable mention. The other one I wanted to use, but I talked myself out of. I love The Who.
Ooh, nice.
And they released a song called The Last Time, which is an okay song. But the B-side for it is Under My Thumb, which is a cover of the Rolling Stones song. And I really, really wanted to do it, but I kind of love the Rolling Stones version too much.
Ooh.
Like, I can't hear it without hearing Mick Jagger. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just. I think it's Scott Pilgrim is what did it, obviously. But so those are my 2 honorable mentions, along with basically everything Postal Service put out that wasn't released as a single. So, my last song is a song that came out last year. I don't do this very often, and I was so happy earlier when Little D mentioned this artist because I was really worried I'd be going into enemy territory with this. My last pick is Dua Lipa, and the song is Pretty Please. I love this song. It's so good. The whole album is fucking incredible. And I nominated for Album of the Year last year, but Taylor Swift won, which was my other nominee for the record. But so I just love Pretty Please. It's got like a really nice mellowness to it that some of the rest of the album doesn't have. A lot of it's really upbeat, and this has a little more like, I don't know. It's still like happy and cheerful, but it is more downbeat, which I really enjoy. So, and I definitely think that plays off of Gorillaz way better than My Name Is Murder would have. So.
You don't go like,
so, but yeah, so Dua Lipa, Pretty Please.
Awesome. Actually, a really great way to close off the page for this category. Love it. So, moving on. We actually did make it to 9 o'clock. We can actually look into and see what new releases are we're going to talk about 2 weeks from now, and then I'll talk about the ones that came out in between the weeks. But Keith, what do you see coming out for today, this week?
Oh,
nice.
I got a St. Vincent album.
Yeah,
that's definitely going to be listened to. J. Cole has a new album. Is that Nicki Minaj?
Ooh, I'm looking at some.
Oh my gosh, it's Beam Me Up Scotty, the mixtape she did.
Okay, nice.
But it's got extra songs.
Oh my god,
I might have to listen to that. 21 Savage.
Yes, the EP. You gotta call it out. It's a whole EP to the Spiral movie, the soundtrack.
We got another song from the Black Keys album that's coming up, which I'm so excited about.
Wait, I see the actual album out.
I don't have them all unlocked. I only have 3 songs.
Okay, no, Delta Cream. I see it all out.
Yeah. Oh well, maybe it's just not uploaded on my end.
We're talking about so much in the next episode. I'm so sorry to the listeners, or you're welcome if you listen with me.
What is it? Go ahead.
I see the Rodrigo y Gabriela, the jazz EP is actually out. Which are still 3 songs, but holy shit, I did not know this. Aterciopelados, Tropeplop, whatever. It's Aterciopelados, the singer that came on with Gustavo Cerati for my favorite song for Soda Stereo in La Ciudad de la Furia for the MTV Unplugged, but a whole album by Aterciopelados, and I fucking love this. Also an Amine EP, My Baby, and actually a 6-song EP, which is nice. Oh my god, and a Cuco single. Okay, what else do you see? I was just really excited.
The artist Paris, Texas has a new album out, looks like. Which is cool. I'm looking through the actual like Billboard rankings right now to see if there's anything else. Nothing else that really jumps out at me, unless you're a big Alan Jackson fan.
I see. I don't know when this came out because the artwork is to DC's death metal, but it's a Mastodon single, Forged by Neuron. Song is out because the artwork again is to the comic, but the comic's been out for like a while.
Yeah. No, that's all I see.
Yeah, no, this is a bunch of good shit that came out today. Oh my god, I'm so fucking excited for this weekend. Man, lots of good shit to talk about. So, next up, we would head a roulette, but we do have some exciting stuff to get to meet the gang that is Geek Elite. So, next week, Keith, what do we have lined up for next week?
Next week, we have the category of superior covers. Songs, cover versions that are better than the original version.
Lots of opinions here.
And we are going to be joined by another guest, and that is going to be another Geek Elite person, which is Chris Franey.
Nice. Excellent. Yep. Love to get to know the Geek Elite members. Daniel, not you, Daniel. Such a pleasure to meet you. Sucks that you lost, and you have to go by Lil D. You do not deserve that. You give us a great pick.
There's always next season, so maybe next season I
redeem yourself.
Will get my name back.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll swap.
Redeem it, please.
We'll swap.
I fucking love this. Lots of good things coming. Love it, love it, love it. So, this concludes this episode of Jukebox Vertigo. Thank you to the co-host, as I just did, for your great picks. Doing round of plugins. Daniel, would you like to do all your plugins, and where can we find you?
Well, you can find me mostly on Twitter at djuarez03. I try to tweet there, or at least react to most of the Geek Elite posts. They always have some good stuff, some great memes, and I know Big D is responsible for a lot of those. So keep up the good work, Daniel.
Thank you.
And Daniel, your plugs.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at SuperCommieDaniel. I'm not Communist Party, like Keith mentioned last time, so Commie with a K. And then Instagram is Danny the Destroyer, and I am doing shows with Mitch. So you can also listen to Televised Heroics. Thank you.
Nice. And Keith.
You can find me at WHI Podcast Keith, representing our other show, which is called We Have Issues, where we review comics, which you can find at WHI Podcast, also on Geek Elite Media, and anywhere you can listen to those. You can also find our producer, Liz, at WHI Podcast Liz. She will be participating soon again. She's done with school, so she can actually help me in Josue, and I don't have to edit everything now. So I'm very excited to have her back, and we might have a really cool announcement about her actually being on air with us at some point soon.
Yes.
So yeah, myself, WHI Podcast Keith, Liz at WHI Podcast Liz, and the show at WHI Podcast. And I'll kick it over to Josue to wrap it up.
Nice. And I'm over on Twitter at Josue Reads Josue. So yes, and thank you to the listeners for your continued support on this musical sharing ride. You can also, last plugins, follow us on at Geek Elite Media for all geek shows adjacent, and at Jukebox Vertigo, where a public playlist will be added and shared weekly, as well as a short playlist to go with every new episode with our picks. Now let loose with your jams and geek out.
This concludes our broadcast. Beep.